So hi, I'm out today and I'm going to review a Checkpoint gravel grinder. So first of all, Trek makes a great bike. It's a beautiful bike, love the color red. It's a 2x11 GRX crankset, gear system, etc. It's a carbon bike. It's 36 by 700 tires. And you can see they're a little bit nubbier on the sides as opposed to the middles. That's what they came with. Looks like they're called Challenge Gravel Grinder Pro. The rims are Peregrine from Bontrager, also obviously from Trek. Disc brakes, and it's a pretty nice bike. What I've learned so far on the ride is that there's some give this way. Call it front back, not so much up down, to help with the comfort. I would say what I don't like about the bike so far is, to me, this is meant for aero bikes, and I don't get why Trek does it, because grime and chips and all kinds of things can happen in here. So I'm not sure why you open up the frame just for steering on a gravel grinder. They may know more than me. I'm not a big fan of these little openings that they put, which is supposed to help, I guess, with the seat post adjustments that you can make. But to me, these things crack. And I was talking with Corey at Keswick. He's a mechanic, and he said, yeah, they have a real trouble after you put them back on the first time, staying good. Trek is really great. If they ever chip or anything, they will replace them for free. So a couple more things. Again, this is the Trek Checkpoint. This model is the SL5 500 series carbon fiber. You can notice that they've carved out and tried to make the frame a little bit less. I'm not sure for a hardy gravel grinder that's important to me. You can also see that it has the rivets for like a top tube bag. On the side, there's rivets if you want to do front panniers. Likewise, a back rack, side rear panniers. Something that Trek owners, I first saw this on a Trek, they like or they dislike are these compartments where you can put your multi-tool, your spare tube, tire levers, maybe even an emergency gel. They're nice. What I've heard, though, is sometimes, like other parts, they do chip or crack. So I can go either way on that. The saddle that it came with, Verse, it's been just fine. I'm only about 10 miles into the ride, but it feels comfortable. These are the stock handlebars that came with the Trek. And for me, they feel a lot like standard road handlebars, which is okay. So one thing that they're doing on bikes that I like is they're starting to put this protective rubber to help prevent chips or cracks in a very vulnerable part of the frame. Love these pedals that he chose because you can clip in on either side, the Shimano's. I have a couple of videos about that I'll put in the description if you want to learn more about those. All right, let's try it on some mud. See how it does. Starting to understand the vibration system, and it actually kind of moves more front to back than up and down. And it's all right. So I just took it through some pretty wet sections, and it did all right. It feels like it might want to slip out a little bit. It's a little muddy. So, but that's probably more a function of the tires. Yeah, this feels just fine on roads. Not fast like a true road bike, probably more because the tires are nubby. Feels good. I'll put the route below, but I just love this part, the bridge. And on to, so this is more what I think the bike is probably optimal for and designed for. And that's what I would call rails to trails or really nice gravel paths. So I found another surface that I was looking for, like country rocky roads. Saw a lot of this in Torre Tiora for miles and miles and miles. And in places like Wyoming and Montana, when you get off the state roads, all the other roads a lot of times are like this or even worse. The bike's doing pretty well. It's a lot of vibration, it's doing okay with it. And yeah, it still feels like a road bike, but it's doing great. Just did a descent with some ruts, clearly gravel, some loose stuff. It's a little bit moist today. And it did fine. It didn't inspire confidence, but it handled this stuff just fine. So yeah, again, for me, what this feels like this bike is made for is doing gravel like this. It's flat, it's well worn, and the bike just seems to be eating it up. Okay, here's my bottom line summary. It's a nice bike. Trek makes a nice bike. If you are looking to do gravel, flat, rails to trails, see my videos like the Gap and CNO in Western Pennsylvania down from Pittsburgh to DC. This is an ideal bike. If you're looking to do touring, you're looking to do a little bit rowdier gravel, you'd have to put on bigger tires. And for me, you'd have to stop at beginner mountain bike type trails. I don't like this for touring because I don't like carbon for touring. You can disagree with me on that. But I feel like if you're out for weeks and weeks and you're out far away from good bike shops and it cracks, you're dead in the water. Something alloy, aluminum, titanium, if it dents, it's not ideal, but you can probably get to the next city. And overall, it has a road bike type feel. So if you're coming at it from a road bike perspective, I think you'll like it. If you're coming at it from a mountain bike perspective, it's gonna feel more like a road bike to you. To me, I think Trek is a little bit guilty of taking their road bike designs and making a gravel grinder, but still a really nice bike. All right, and I thought I would sneak this in for my British friends. This is where the American troops camped out in Valley Forge in a deathly winter and snuck across the river and attacked the British on Christmas Day, catching them by surprise and turning the war.